The words hit like a sledgehammer to the gut. "Jordan, you're fired. Effective immediately." My boss's voice echoed through the glass-walled conference room, slicing the air thick with a scent of stale coffee and fresh printer ink. 80 pairs of eyes, colleagues I'd mentored, friends I'd shared beers with after late nights, turned on me, their stares a cocktail of pity, shock, and something darker, like relief that it wasn't them. My face burned, a furnace of humiliation roaring inside, as if my skin had been flayed open for all to see. I gripped the edge of the polished oak table, knuckles whitening, the cool wood a stark contrast to the hot rage bubbling in my veins. How could he? Mark, my mentor for 8 years, the man who'd promised me partnership, now delivering my execution with a smirk hidden behind feigned regret. Denial crashed first, a tidal wave drowning the fury. This wasn't real. It had to be a joke, a team-building exercise gone wrong. But Mark's eyes, cold and calculating, betrayed no humor. "Embezzlement, Jordan. The audits don't lie. You've been skimming from the R&D fund." Lies. I'd poured my soul into this company, sacrificing weekends, holidays, even my marriage. Divorce papers still fresh in my desk drawer. Heartbreak twisted sharper than the anger. I'd trusted him like a father, shared confidences over scotch in his office, believed in his vision. Now resentment festered, a poison seeping into every cell. I wanted to lunge across the table, wrap my hands around his throat, feel the pulse of betrayal under my fingers. But I sat frozen, the room's fluorescent hum mocking my paralysis. Whispers rippled like wine through dry leaves. Sarah, my assistant, averted her gaze, her fingers twisting a pen until it snapped. She'd seen the late-night emails, knew I'd been covering for Mark's shortcuts. Was she in on it? The thought ignited obsession, a dark whisper in my mind. They all deserved to pay. Guilt flickered, had I missed the signs? My own doubts, the moral conflicts of bending rules for the team, now weaponized against me. I stood, chair scraping like nails on chalkboard, voice steady despite the storm. "This is bullshit, Mark. You know it." He leaned back, arms crossed, the leather of his chair creaking. "Security's waiting outside. Clean out your desk and go." The walk to my office blurred into a nightmare haze. Hallways I'd navigated with purpose now felt like a gauntlet, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, casting long shadows that danced mockingly. Colleagues parted like the Red Sea, their murmurs a cacophony. "Did you hear? Jordan's been stealing." Texture of betrayal clung to me, the sticky residue of shattered loyalty. In my office, I yanked open drawers, stuffing files into a box, fingers trembling on photos of team retreats, memories now tainted. A single tear escaped, hot and salty, as resentment hardened into resolve. "I'll make you feel this, Mark. Every ounce of humiliation." Then the alarms blared. A deafening wail pierced the air, red lights strobing like arterial blood. Sprinklers hissed to life, cold water cascading in sheets, soaking my shirt to the skin, the chill seeping into my bones. Chaos erupted, screams, footsteps pounding carpet, the acrid tang of wet electronics sparking. Evacuation sirens wailed, bodies surging toward exits, a human tide of panic. I dropped the box, water pooling around my shoes, and in that moment, fury crystallized. This wasn't random. The timing reeked of sabotage. Mark's doing. To bury evidence. My mind raced, fantasies of justice flashing, exposing him, watching his empire crumble. Outside, under the gray October sky, the parking lot became a milling crowd, rain mixing with sprinkler drizzle, turning asphalt slick. Sirens wailed in the distance. Fire trucks approaching. Fire. My heart pounded, obsession gripping tighter. During the firing, I'd smelled smoke faintly, dismissed it as imagination. Now it hit, someone had said it. And as I scanned the faces, Mark's calm demeanor amid the frenzy, a hidden motive surfaced. He'd framed me not just for the money, but to cover his own tracks. The embezzlement was his, funneling funds to offshore accounts, using my access as a scapegoat. Doubt crept in. Was revenge worth becoming like him? Guilt gnawed, but cold resolve won. For every lie. Huddled under an awning, phone in hand, I texted Sarah. Meet me. Now. She appeared minutes later, rain-slicked hair framing wide eyes. Jordan, what happened? The fire. It's in the server room. Her voice trembled, natural hesitation revealing cracks. You knew, I accused, voice low, rage simmering. She flinched. Not all. Mark. He pressured me. Said it was for the company's good. Manipulation dripped from her words, suppressed rage in her clenched fists. He promised me your job. Betrayal layered upon betrayal. Friendship twisted into ambition. Heartbreak surged, but I masked it with calculation. Help me, Sarah. Or you're next. Her nod was reluctant, eyes flickering with moral conflict, foreshadowing the gray path ahead. Back in my car, engine humming against the downpour, inner thoughts churned. Denial faded. Reality's vice tightened. Fantasies played. Hacking his emails, leaking to the board, watching him beg. Fear whispered, prison. Ruin. But obsession drowned it. I drove to my apartment, the wipers slashing rhythmically, mirroring my slicing thoughts. Inside, the dim lamp cast shadows on unpacked boxes from the divorce, a reminder of prior losses. Resentment boiled as I booted my laptop, old company VPN still active, sloppy on their part. Files downloaded in the dead of night, each click a step toward vengeance. Guilt pricked. Was this justice or madness? Mark's face haunted, his mentor facade crumbling to reveal greed. Days blurred into a haze of surveillance. I tailed Mark from coffee runs to his mistress's apartment, subtle hints of his double life emerging. One evening, parked in shadows, I watched him argue with her, voices muffled but tones sharp. The fire bought time, but Jordan's sniffing around. Her laugh brittle. You always were ruthless. Moral complexity in him. Not cartoon villain, but a man driven by fear of failure, justifying betrayal as survival. My anger softened momentarily, humanity glimpsed, but resolve hardened. He chose this. Sarah met me in a dingy diner, neon buzzing, grease scent heavy. I got the ledger, she whispered, sliding a USB across Formica. Her hands shook, eyes darting, guilt etched deep. This makes me complicit. Dialogue natural, tension coiling. We all are now, I replied, voice edged with suppressed rage. But he'll pay first. She hesitated, revealing her own obsession, resentment toward Mark's favoritism. Okay. But if it goes wrong? Fear mirrored mine, building suspense. We parted, her silhouette fading into rain, a quiet strategic alliance forged. Nights brought doubt, pacing my floorboards creaking underfoot. Heartbreak over lost career mingled with fury. Fantasies evolving into plans. I'd leak the evidence anonymously but twist it, make it personal. Infiltrate his home network, plant doubts with the board. Moral conflict raged. Was I better? The fire's smoke still lingered in memory. Alarm's wail echoing. Obsession won. Cold resolve settled like frost. Weeks in, tension rose. A close call. Mark spotting me at a bar, his gaze lingering. Jordan. What are you doing here? Casual but suspicion lurked. Drowning sorrows. I lied, heart racing, beer bottle slick in palm. Dialogue heightened suspense. Move on, man. It's business. His patronizing tone fueled resentment. I nodded, excusing myself, pulse thundering. Back home, planning accelerated. Hacking tools acquired discreetly. Fear gnawing but drowned by anger. The pivot came subtly. Sarah called, voice hushed. He's promoting me tomorrow. Covering tracks. Humiliation fresh, I vowed poetic justice. Inner journey peaked. Denial gone, doubt minimized, obsession pure. Part 1 closed on the eve of action. Alarm's memory a siren call to revenge. The board meeting loomed like a guillotine. Mark's promotion of Sarah the Blade. I sat in my shadowed car across from the office tower, City lights reflecting off rain-slicked glass, the hum of traffic a distant roar. Resolve had calcified overnight, guilt a faint echo against the symphony of rage. Obsession drove me now. Fantasies no longer dreams but blueprints. I'd slip in during the lunch rush, USB in pocket, a ghost in the machine. Heartbreak lingered. This company was my life, now a battlefield. But betrayal's sting demanded blood. Infiltration began with quiet calculation. Badge cloned from Sarah's reluctant aid. I swiped into the lobby, the beep a heartbeat in my ears. Elevators whispered upward, mirrors reflecting a man I barely recognized. Eyes hollow, jaw set. Floor 12, the executive suite, air thick with polished leather and ambition's perfume. Voices drifted from the conference room. Mark's laugh booming. Sarah's the future. Jordan was expendable. Suppressed rage boiled. I ducked into an empty office, fingers flying over keyboard, breaching the network. Files unfolded. Proof of his embezzlement, laundered through shell companies. The fire a desperate cover to erase digital trails. Suspense built-in breaths held too long. A security guard's footsteps echoed hallway. Boots thudding carpet. I froze, screen glow illuminating sweat on brow. He passed, radio crackling static. Relief washed but fear twisted. One mistake and I'm done. Inner conflict surged. Was this justice or vengeance? Mark's moral grayness mirrored mine. He'd betrayed for family. Photos in files showing kids' tuition paid with stolen funds. Humanity flickered, but resentment smothered it. He chose greed over loyalty. Sarah texted. They're toasting. Hurry. I planted the virus. Subtle, a slow leak to media outlets, timed for maximum exposure. But I added personal touch. Emails to his wife, revealing the mistress. Poetic justice, layered with obsession. As I exited, alarms blared again. Not fire but a silent trigger from my code, testing the system. Chaos anew but controlled. I slipped out amid confusion, heart pounding. The visceral thrill of retaliation electric. Homebound, doubt assaulted. Pacing kitchen, tile cold under feet, guilt clawed. Sarah's involvement, her family's safety. Fantasies soured. What if innocence suffered? Cold resolve pushed forward. I monitored from laptop, hits registering. First leak. Anonymous tip to journalists. By dawn, headlines screamed. Tech giant CEO embezzles millions. Mark's face on screens, shock paling his features. Satisfaction bloomed, dark and sweet, but layered with heartbreak. The company crumbling, jobs lost. Confrontation brewed inevitably. Mark called, voice strained. Jordan, we need to talk. Cafe meet, neutral ground, steam rising from coffees. Bitter as betrayal. You did this, he accused, eyes bloodshot, no pretense. Dialogue raw, tension crackling. You started it, I countered, voice steady, rage veiled. Firing me like trash. He leaned in, desperation humanizing. I had debts, Jordan. The fire. It was to buy time. Confession spilled, motives complex. Fear of ruin driving him to frame me, manipulate Sarah. I regret it. But his eyes lied, resentment mutual. Our exchange heightened suspense, suppressed rage simmering. Too late, I said, standing. Feel the humiliation. Outside, rain lashed, mirroring turmoil. Obsession peaked, but moral conflict deepened. His plea stirred guilt, doubt creeping. Was revenge hollow? Plans evolved. One final blow, exposing Sarah's role to force her choice. Nights blurred into strategy sessions. Alone with whiskey's burn, thoughts brutal. Fantasies of his downfall played cinematic. Board ousting him, crowds jeering. Fear loomed, lawsuits, arrest. But resolve held, foreshadowed by subtle signs. His frantic calls ignored, wife's fury in voicemails leaked online. The climax built slowly. Sarah confronted me in park. Leaves crunching underfoot, autumn chill biting. Mark's suicidal, Jordan. This has to stop. Her voice broke, tears real, revealing her obsession with redemption. I helped you for revenge, but now guilt's killing me. Dialogue natural, emotions layered. Her betrayal born of ambition, now regret. Choose, I demanded, heart aching. Him or truth? She hesitated, moral grayness stark, then nodded. Truth. Final act. Leaking her complicity, but anonymously tipping authorities to spare the company. Alarms echo guided, chaos as catalyst. Media frenzy peaked. Mark arrested in dawn raid. Sirens wailing like the office alarms. I watched from afar, visceral shock. His cuffed hands, face crumpling. Poetic justice, but twist unraveled. Sarah, in loyalty's flip, had recorded our meetings, turning evidence on me. Cops at my door, betrayal's cycle complete. Handcuffs clicked, cold metal biting wrists, humiliation mirroring his. Inner journey closed in irony. Revenge's pursuit birthing my own downfall. Guilt overwhelmed, resolve shattered. As they led me away, Mark's gaze met mine through bars. Not triumph but shared ruin. Unexpected consequence. In destroying him, I'd become him. Heartbreak eternal, obsession's price paid in full. Yet in cell's dim light a spark. Perhaps justice was illusion, forgiveness the true revenge. But too late. Alarms of consequence blared forever.